One by one, Mr. Rochester's friends went back to their rooms. I also went back to my room, but soon afterwards, someone knocked at my door. I opened it and saw Mr. Rochester.
Jane, can you come with me?
He asked. I knew from his voice that something was very wrong. Yes, of course, I said, and I followed him down the corridor and up the stairs to the attic. He unlocked the door of the attic, and we entered the room.
Wait here,
he said. I stayed outside the door of another room while he unlocked it and went inside. Then from behind this door, I heard a terrible sound. It sounded like a wounded animal crying with rage. Once again, I heard that cruel, frightening laugh. Was Grace Poole inside that room? Mr. Rochester came out and locked the door again.
Are you afraid of the sight of blood, Jane?
He asked me. I don't think so, I replied.
Then come into the room with me,
he said. I entered the room and saw that Mr. Mason was lying on a large bed. His face was pale and his eyes were closed. His white shirt was covered in blood. Is he dead? I asked.
No,
Mr. Rochester replied.
he isn't badly hurt, but I must go and call a doctor for him. Will you stay with him until I return?
Mr. Mason moved and tried to speak. Mr. Rochester said to him,
Don't try to talk, Mason. You must not speak to Jane while I am away.
Mr. Rochester left me alone with the injured man. He was away for a long time, and I was very frightened. Grace Poole was in the next room, and at any moment she might come in and try to hurt Mr. Mason or me. After a very long time, Mr. Rochester came back with the doctor. Mr. Rochester said to me,
Thank you for your help, Jane. Mason is now going to leave Thornfield Hall. The doctor will take him away to be cared for in a safe place.
I helped Mr. Rochester and the doctor to get Mr. Mason down the stairs and out of the house.
Take care of him, Doctor,
said Mr. Rochester.
Soon he will be well enough to go back to the West Indies.
Okay, after we have listened to the audiobook of Jane Eyre, I have selected the sixth sentence to go through a little bit more deeper to understand are there any phrases or clauses, and even what kinds of sentence pattern are they. Let's take a look at it one by one. Okay, the first one, let's take a look. Okay, Sophia, what is the first one that belongs to a noun, a color blue?
Hi Stanley, thanks for asking. I think the blue one is the word I, isn't it?
Very good, Sophia. You're right. The first word that belongs to the blue color is the word I. And how about the red one?
I think it should be the word new, right?
Sophia, yes, you're right. The word that belongs to red color is the word new. Okay, now you have I, you have new, but what do you new? Very good, you do the word that. And how about something was very wrong? So what is it?
It's a complete sentence, so I think it's a clause, right?
Yes, you're right. And it's clause. And this clause is telling you more about the word that. So, what kinds of clause do you think?
It's a relative clause.
Bingo. That's right. Now, these complete sentences have two areas that you have to care about. Number one, These complete sentences cannot leave without. I can't simply say I knew that. I knew that. The word that actually isn't complete. So you have to add extra information. So something what's very wrong is the missing piece. And also, it's a clause, and it's a relative clause, and function as an adjective. These adjectives telling you more about the word that. Very nice. Now how about from his voice? These actually is composing by a prepositions from and another noun, his voice. So what do you think?
I think it's a green color, which means it's an adverb. Am I right?
Very good, Sophia. The face from his voice is a green color. And green color means an adverb. And this adverb is a prepositional phrase telling you more about knew. How do you knew it? From his voice. Very good, Sophia. Now, we are very clear about there is a blue, red, blue, and a bordered yellow. So what sentence pattern do you think this sentence belongs to?
I think it's a pattern 5, right?
Very good, Sophia. You're right. This sentence, I knew from his voice that something was very wrong, is a pattern number 5. However, if we treated this whole part that something was very wrong as a non-clause, the pattern will be a little bit different. It will be a pattern 3. Got it, Sophia?
Okay, I understand now.
Okay, then we move on to the next question. Okay, let's move on. We are going to question number 2. Sophia, I think you should speak a little bit louder, couldn't you?
Okay, isn't it loud enough?
I think it's better. Okay, then we continue. The second sentence, I stayed outside the door of another room while he unlocked it and went inside. Sophia, which one is the first blue?
I think it's the word I, right?
Yes, you're right. And you can also know that the red color is the word stay. Now, the next question is, how about the word outside the door? What color do you think it is?
It should be a green color, isn't it?
Very good. It's a green color. And this green color telling you more about where do you stay. So it's a prepositional phrase composing by the word outside and the noun the door and function as an adverb. How about the other one of another room? Why is it yellow?
I think it's because it tells more about the door, right?
Very good, Sophia. How about while he unlocked it and went inside? Now this is a complete sentence, so you can tell it's a clause. But what kind of clause is it?
As it tells more about a time of the action stay. I think it's a adverbial clause, isn't it?
Very good. Yeah, you're right. While he unlocked it and went inside is an adverbial clause. And these adverbial clause telling you more about the word stay. So, what kinds of sentence pattern does it belong to?
It is a pattern 1 as it only has a blue and a red.
Very good, Sophia. You're right. This sentence has one blue I and one red stayed. So, it's a pattern number 1. Bingo. Let's move on. Okay, let's go to question number 3. It sounds like a wounded animal crying with rage. In order to understand the sentence pattern, we have to break down the sentence like this. And Sophia, could you please tell us where is the first blue and where is the first red color?
I think the one in blue is the word it, and the one in red is sounded.
Very good, Sophia. You're right. The first blue is the word eat, and the first red is the word some. Then how about the part like a wounded animal?
This part should be a yellow.
Exactly, Sophia. The part like a wounded animal actually is composing by two parts, the word like and a wounded animal. And you can see the word like function like a word similar when it's a preposition. And the word a wounded animal is a noun. When they put together, this is a prepositional phrase telling you more about the word eat. And why is a border yellow? Because this part even is an adjective, but this adjective is something you can't drop or the sentence cannot complete without. So you can see that we highlight this with border yellow. And Sophia, how about the word crying with rage?
As the whole phrase is an adjective, it should be a yellow.
Very good, Sophia. This yellow part crying with rage telling you more of the word eat. And this is a participial phrase explain more about the animal. So Sophia, now we have a blue, red, bordered yellow, and with another part yellow. So what sentence pattern do you think it is?
There is a linking verb sounded, so I think it is pattern 2.
Bingo, Sophia. So this is a sentence pattern number 2. Okay, then we move on to the next question. Question number 3. I saw that Mr. Mason was lying on a large bed. To understand this sentence, we have to break down into different parts like this. And the first part of the blue color and the red color should be the word I and saw. And what is something that you really saw is the word that. Okay, Sophia, how about the part Mr. Mason was lying on a large bed? What do you think it is?
This is a complete sentence and has been used to tell more about the word that. I think it's a yellow and it's a relative clause, right?
Bingo, Sophia. As this whole part is a complete sentence, Mr. Mason was lying on a large bed, and it is telling you more about the word that. So it's a clause and is a relative clause. Function as an adjective. You're right. So, what sentence pattern do you think it belongs to?
It has blue, red, blue plus a border yellow. I think it must be sentence pattern 5, isn't it?
Very good. This sentence belongs to pattern number 5. Alright, let's move on to the next sentence. Okay, the sentence, you must not speak to Jane while I'm away. To understand this sentence, we break it down into something like this. And the first blue color must be the word you, and the red color must be must not speak. And Sophia, how about the phrase to Jane? What do you think?
This phrase composite with the preposition to and a noun Jane. It's a prepositional phrase, functions as an adverb to tell more about the verb must not speak. Am I right?
Very good, Sophia. The phrase to Jane is telling you more about must not speak. and is a prepositional phrase, function as an adverb. You're right. Then how about the clause while I'm away? What do you think?
This part is a clause and it tells more about the verb must not speak to. So I think it's an adverbial clause.
Very good, Sophia. These clause while I'm away function as a adverb and is a adverbial clause. You're right. So what sentence pattern is it?
As we do not count the green part, it only has a blue and a red part. So I think it is pattern number 1.
Very good, Sophia. It's a pattern number 1. Alright then, we move on to the last question. So, the last question. The doctor will take him away to be cared for in a safe place. So to understand this question, we break it down in this way. And the doctor and will take away is the blue part and the red part. But who will be taken away is the blue part him. Sophia, how about the other part? To be cared for. What do you think?
This phrase starts with the word to and follows with the verb be. It's a to infinitive phrase and functions as an adjective to tell more about him.
Very good, Sophia. To be careful is a to infinitive phrase telling you more about the noun him. Then how about in a safe place?
This part starts with a preposition and follows by a noun. It's a prepositional phrase which functions as an adverb to tell more about the previous adjective.
Very good. In a safe place, starting with a preposition in and followed with a noun, a safe place. So, it's a prepositional phrase. And as it's telling you more about to be careful, so the only function
Red and blue pattern, I think it's a pattern number 3, right?
exactly. As we have a blue, red, blue pattern, and it's a sentence pattern number 3. Very good. That's all for today. Everybody, see you tomorrow. Goodbye.